Well, hello folks, Nathan here. This is yet another Let's Play here on the same day. Lots of Let's Plays because I haven't had a chance to really sit down and do some of these for some of the newer PlayStation VR games that I picked up. This one is, as it says up there at the top, Tiny Trax. And this is sort of, a lot of people say, well, it's just a basic racing game. Not really. You will find that this is a game based very much on the old school things where, like, I'm not even sure what the type was called. It's like track racing, where basically you would buy a set that has a bunch of little track pieces that all have little grooves in them, and you link them all together, and then you take your little tiny car that's about the size of a Matchbox car that has a little stick sticking out of the bottom, stick it in the groove, and then use little trigger type controllers to send in some electricity and zip them around the track. It's that kind of racing game. There is a multiplayer. There's also single player. I'm going to check out single player here. I've done this a little bit already, and I will tell you this game is ridiculously difficult, and there are no difficulty settings. It's all about drifting. If you don't drift exactly right, screw you, you're going to lose. I have yet to go through a single race, whether in single race mode, no pun intended, or cup race, and come in anything but fourth. So, and that's out of 4. So let's see me get my ass kicked a few more times again. We're going to check out some of these cool different levels because I want to give you a sense of what this is like. Think of this kind of like, gosh, I mean, some of the really early stuff, like Merville's, for instance, or Wayward Sky, where you're not actually in VR in the vehicle, but it's more like the VR environment around you is this stylized kind of cartoonish environment in which you will be sitting and playing on these tracks as they sit in front of you, with the cars kind of about Matchbox car size. Alright. So you have different cars you can choose from. Mad Hustle Muscle, Kahuna Wave Rider, Rapid Refresh F5, Street Boost Burner, Big Tiny Trouble, Grass Hop Hoofer, and then you're back to Mad Hustle Muscle. I'll just use Mad Hustle Muscle. And you are able to change the colors. You have red, green, blue, yellow, white, that for most of them means more like Tron-esque, right? Where it's sort of black with white highlights. And then pink. So we're going to go with just green so it's easier to see. This first track is one that kind of frustrated me because there is one point at which if you don't have screwed. But you'll notice, okay, so here's the track. It feels like it's coming up to basically my waist level or a little bit above waist level. Nice and cartoony, again, very Merville's-esque in its design. If you played that game or watched my live streams of that. But you have these two little tracks here that you can see. You can switch between them with the change lane button. But these little tiny cars are going to zip along that track, and you have to be careful as it goes around corners to make sure that you're cornering right to be able to drift. Get more boost. Drift is noticed on the top there. Boost is on the bottom. To gain boost on the bottom, you have to drift in such a way that you're hitting that green mark on top of the upper half of the circle there. You have 5 laps to do. And then boost is handled with X, acceleration with R2. So from a control standpoint, it's not particularly complicated, but the drifting mechanics and just the difficulty of the racers you're playing against is pretty high. In this case, the track is going to go around. There's one jump there that you can make, I think, without boost. You must make this jump with boost. Then you back down, around a jump that you can make without boost, I believe, and then back to start. Nothing going on with the docks or anything like that back there, or the ship. They're just there for basically window dressing. So here we go. Time for me to suck again. 5, 4, 3, 2. Notice when it goes red, that means that basically you're not cornering right, so your boost is running out, or you're not getting boost for that moment. Woo! 3rd place! Woo! Not gonna keep it, but yay! The really sucky thing, yeah, see, I bad corner there, and I lost it. All right, switch lanes. Oh! If you don't have boost there, you miss the jump and you have to go back again. And again, it's just that these other players, I mean, maybe the idea is that I'm supposed to be, even on the straightaways, I'm supposed to be doing some kind of drift. Because I'm finding myself constantly falling behind. Like, I'll get to a point where I'm maybe in 3rd, At one point, I even got to first. Oh, and I missed it. So now I get to start back over here, where again, I'll get to miss it again because I don't have any, there we go, boost. And once you miss that once, you are completely fucked. So, ain't nothing you can do now. Yeah. I have never scored beyond 4th place in any of these. They are ridiculously, ridiculously difficult. They are cool looking, though, which is why I'm wanting to show you here. So if you want a racing game that's a little bit different, a little bit more like Merville's, it's not going to cause a lot of motion sickness for people because the motion is in the cars and you're sitting stationary. This is one to try out. Though just, again, bear in mind that it is more difficult than it looks. The chances of actually coming in first, pretty tough. And I've seen a bunch of reviews saying essentially the same thing. So thankfully it's not just me that sucks. It's just the pretty high difficulty level and learning curve. There we go. So in this case, we're going to go around the back, come up the ramp, down here by my knees, and up vertically up the side, which is one of the cool things that this type of racer could do in real life if you had the toys. Go around through the mouth, down, make a jump. I don't believe requires boost. Down, drop a level, and swing back around. All the way back to start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! Go! I think the idea here is that you basically want to be boosting the entire time, but you have to be able to get enough boost to actually boost the entire time. I have a hard time on this one with that back area, remembering where the car is supposed to go. Come on! See? Now I'm way behind everybody else. Slight mistake, and you are screwed and have absolutely no chance in hell of catching up. You must be perfect, or you are in 4th. That is essentially the motto of this game. Be perfect, or screw you, you're coming in last. Like, this is one that I thought both me and my wife would probably enjoy. I'm not sure I even want her to try it now because she's going to be pissed and want to throw the controller. I played one of these the other day. I screwed up once, and I had the computer characters lapping me. A difficulty level select would be greatly appreciated for this game. Let people try and not get frustrated with the fact that they lose every single time, so they will still play your game. Alright. So now we got one, it looks like at my shoulder level is where this top layer is going to be. Everything else kind of going down. It's like I'm standing in the waterfall. This lower level is actually about my shin or ankle level. And we're going to go around, up, around the back, up, around this area, down, around, jump over the barrels. If you're going with full boost or fast enough, you'll be able to do it without having to hit all 3 barrels. And then you're back around to the start again. Time to suck. Oh, and I hit every single one of them, and now I'm back in 4th again. Because I did not have enough boost. I really wish that the opposing players, CPU players, I really wish that they would show their gauges. Because I can't imagine that they are actually able to have boost almost constantly the way that they are if they're playing with the same restrictions that I am. But whatever. I'm not nearly as far behind in 4th as I usually am. And again, the VR aspect of this is that it's as if this stuff is in the room with you. It's not so much that you're tied along with the vehicle. So someone who is new to VR, someone who's very young in particular, for whom motion sickness might be a big thing, this would be a good one for that. Again, if not for the ridiculous difficulty curve. I think this is the one I particularly enjoyed, though. Yes, okay. So part of this track is underwater. So we're going to go up and around and jump, which is about a foot over my head, go up and around, and then chunk underwater. And if I want to look at what's happening underwater, I can stick my head underwater. I can just tilt my head and sploosh. And you notice that the music is muted because my head is underwater. Pop my head back up, back and forth, back and forth. And it's going to go down around underwater, spiral, and come back up and around to get back to the starting point. Up, and I fucked up immediately, so I will lose. Spoosh. Not like me losing was ever in doubt, I'm just saying. But I like the fact that, you know, I'm having to look kind of over my head, I'm looking down towards the floor, which was kind of the fun of these types of racing toys back in the day, you know? Back and forth again. Oh, for third. And I fucked up on the turn on the spiral, so now he's way ahead of me again. This reminds me in some ways of Mario Kart in the sense that if you don't know the tracks, you're screwed. Like, it's about memorization of when to drift, when not to, etc., etc. Ooh, just barely. And there are 4 per cup. So now that cup is done. They got in first, second, and third, and there's me, the host, Darth Soul, Darth_Soul, and Suckage. Only 4 points, whereas the winner got 15. The winner kicked everybody's ass. That's right. You can do single races. You have different maps you can do. I'll show you one more cup full of maps. Let's do this guy. I haven't actually tried these, so this will be new. Ooh, snowy, snowy. Alright, so we're going around, up and around, curving through, making a jump over the hole that has some air to lift, maybe. Underneath, around, and back. Okay. You have to be careful. If you switch lanes, it'll make... If you switch lanes, it makes it easier to... or it makes it faster to go around a turn, but it also means that there's less room for error. Ah, man. Almost lost it. Oh, we're gonna be coming. Ah. Oh, and I got stuck. Come on. Could have had third. Fucked up one main time, and the race is lost. Alright, so where are we going here? We are going down, jumping some spikes, going around, up, around, upside down, in a loop. Down, around, looks like dropping down, around, through, up, around. Holy, this is kind of a long track. Now, red should mean that I'm not lined up well for that particular spot on the... Whoa! That's a little tricky because I'm going to have to look almost backwards to get to it. Yeah, like, what is up with that? It's a straightaway, and yet somehow it's like, nope, sorry, not straight enough for you! Ah, getting stuck on these walls. Yeah, maybe I just didn't play enough of this type of thing when I was a kid to know why I'm getting stuck on the walls. Like, why am I on a... like, what is that? If I'm actually turning the way that it wants me to turn, I'm putting my nose into the wall, and yet that appears to be what it wants me to do. Like, put my nose into the wall, just don't go all the way. Like that. My nose was against the wall. If that was an actual car, I would have been scraping the guardrail the entire time. Maybe that's where my issue lies. Or just the fact that I suck at it, but I mean, you know, maybe they're part and parcel. Still in fifth. Or fourth. Wah, wah, wah. Hand cramping up a little bit. Ooh, okay. Cool. And a volcano. Oh, I get it. I'm Joe. Right? Joe versus the Vault. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to go around and up and around and down along the bottom and up around the back and then twirl, which would be kind of cool in front of me. Down, around, and we're back. Okay. You bastard! Get back here! Come on! Come on, beat him. Get in something other than fourth this time. Constantly getting hung up on those curves. But I guess is where single race comes in. Just take your time on a single race mode. So you can practice with one track over and over and learn all of its ins and outs. Ah, crap, I thought for a second I was on the last lap already! And got stuck, so now I'm screwed. Yep. Got stuck once. In a big way. Oh, wait! Maybe! Maybe! Holy shit! I got third! Oh my god! Whoa! Shit, that is like totally in my face. And recentering just made it closer. It's meant to be in my face. Damn. Okay, so there's our number of laps. We're gonna go up around the back, down, up, around the chain, jump, so I'm gonna need boost there probably. Up, around, almost symmetrical. Looks like it. And then, whoo, right in front of my face. That'll be interesting. And this should be the last one for this cup. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh shit, how'd I get stuck? I'm like waiting for my car to come around the corner and it's not. I'm like, where is it? Only problem with this is it's hard to see your friggin' cars. I mean, actually seeing the car on some of these spots where you need to be drifting is difficult because there's shit in the way. Like that. That's kind of tough to see. And I guess the idea is that you could be moving around, but this is meant to be a game that you're playing in VR while you are sitting. Well, at least nobody's lapping me yet. Notice I emphasize yet. And I'm gonna lose again. Yes! Damn. So this is me straight forward. Me looking to the left. I actually have to tilt my entire body to see the race results here. That could have been nice to maybe have it hanging in front of you. Hate you all. I hate you all. Just so you know, I hate you all. And again, and as it goes, what you'll do is you'll eventually have the Galactic Odyssey, which is another 4, All-Star Cup, and so on and so on. The All-Star Cup combines, from what I understand, so there is a selection of basically 12 maps within the game. And of course, again, 12 maps and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of vehicles with 6 different possible color schemes. You do have single race mode where you can choose your map. and there is an online multiplayer where you can join available races or create a race. And from what I'm told, I have not tried it. I don't care to. I don't do a lot of online multiplayer stuff anymore. But from what I understand, it's actually a lot easier to go up against human players than it is to go up against the game itself. So, with that, this is, again, Tiny Trax. Runs about $20, I think, give or take. Turned out to be one of the more interesting ones on the same day that a Smashbox Arena came out. I had no interest in that. Infinite Mini Golf, no interest in that. Let's see, what else came out that day? There's one other one. Oh, Heroes of the Seven Seas came out the same day. And then the day after this, Theseus came out, which is a long-awaited game with a lot of mystery as to what it's actually going to turn out to be. And yes, I picked up Theseus. So our next Let's Play here in a few minutes will be Theseus.
Yes, 50th. That's right, 50th.